I dropped 50, long nights, had cold days, it was chilly. Pray to God for that parlay that make millies, whoa. Then got me certified. Then got me certified. Got me certified. Shout out to VIP.
Welcome to Certified by the City. This is Michael Quinn. I'm here, the host of the show today. I'm here with my man Rico Lowry. He's on live on the screen today. And I'm here with the legend, Sam Crawford, Westchester High School All-American, New Mexico State All-American, 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 everything. We're here today to give him his props, to certify him by the city. Certified City is blessed to be linked up with Manhattan Beach Studios. Shout out to you. Shout out to VIP Music. Mark, producer, V-Ron, producer. Shout out to all my guys who made this possible. Rico, we want to go right into it. Sam, give me a little bit of background on your history, Sam. Just
my history. Yeah. I came from Harvey, Illinois. I got here, I think, in '82. I went to La Tierra Junior High School. From there to Westchester, my freshman year. I'm sure everybody kind of knows me from there more than anything here in Los Angeles. So salute to Westchester and all my comments out there. And that's pretty much the history of my game here in Los Angeles. After that, we took the show on to New Mexico State and then overseas.
Man, you're definitely a legend here. And it started from somewhere. The stories I heard was a 12-year-old playing against Michael Cooper. I heard some stories about somebody. Norm Nixon. I mean, Sam, you got to give me something, Sam. Because I know it just went from La Tierra to Westchester.
Yeah, I frequent the Laker practices when I was in the 8th grade. More 9th and 10th grade. Norman took an interest in me. He was my agent when I actually came out of school, so we maintained that relationship throughout. But he trained me most of the time when I was younger. So everything I was doing was really in credit to what he was doing with me at his house. And we were going through the motions. And Magic later on came in and picked up the torch, and I went to his camp where I got the opportunity to play against most of those guys. So I had already been familiar with playing against pros by the time I came to Westchester.
Man, and so you went in there playing against pros. Let's keep it real. You was what, 5'8", 5'9"?
No, actually, when I came to Westchester, I was 5'2".
Now that's a confidence like
no
other.
People don't know the truth, really, but I was 5'2", 139 pounds when I started my first varsity game at Westchester.
Jesus Christ.
I grew 6 inches in my sophomore year, the summer going into my sophomore year, and I never grew again. That was it.
I remember I saw you when you used to shoot your jumper for some reason. It'd be so high off the ground. I was like, this dude.
I had to be. A lot of times they had guys more 6'3", 6'4" playing me. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to allow little guys to play me because I was athletic, so I can just jump right over them and shoot. But they put the bigger guys on me, so I had to be able to still get my shots off and do what I needed to do with those guys contesting. So it became a normal thing. It wasn't really abnormal for me, maybe abnormal for people to see. But for me, it was just another day at the office.
Man, especially starting out with them Lakers, too. I mean, that had to help your confidence when you was playing against just regular Joes. You working out with Norm Nixon at a young age. When you got to high school, oh, this is cake.
Well, I felt like high school was more like, this is not really a challenge for me until I played in that Crenshaw game and saw what a true challenge was. Beforehand, I really still didn't feel like I had really been tested or challenged, really. Even in my freshman year, I still felt like I could do what I was trying to do out there and do my job. So I never felt like I was tested like that. But the Crenshaw game truly tested me. That made me bring out more than what I knew I even had myself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Rico, you there? And Yeah, Rico's another Westchester. Yeah, he got a lot to say. Inglewood love.
No, look,
yeah.
no.
He is super. He is super common. I saw him. He came on here, Crenshaw'd out. He is super common.
Yeah, you know? He was born a common. He was born a common. He was an adopted Crenshaw. He was a runaway. He was a runaway. He ran away from Westchester. He got adopted.
Him and James Gray, Gumby. Yeah. You know, those guys were under us, so they got the opportunity to really see, you know, how basketball was supposed to be played from that position. So once they took that upon themselves, it was wonderful to watch because you see that they had learned a lot from the players that they had been around and seen in their young years. Because when Reek took off at Crenshaw, I wasn't surprised. Other people may have been, but I knew who he was around and who he was affiliated with. So I wasn't shocked when he took off like that.
Oh, yeah.
No, hey, look, Sam used to be on my head. Sam and Damon Wilson, they used to be on my head like, you got to give us more. Even at Westchester, like, what's up, bro? Like, we know you got game. What you doing out here? So they were very instrumental in me, my game and me stepping my level up, you know, to that next level, especially when I got to Crenshaw. I looked to those guys for advice a lot when I was coming up, most definitely.
Man.
No doubt about it. You were talking about that situation with Harold before we came on. Me and Harold got an opportunity to go to Michael Jordan's camp up in Fresno right before we were going into our freshman year. And Rod Higgins was a very good friend of my family in Illinois. Him and my aunt went to high school together. So Rod had my uncle bring me and Harold up for the camp up in Fresno. And Mike gave us an opportunity to play him one-on-one. You know, so me and him both got the opportunity to go against Mike. I'm talking about prime Mike, first 2 or 3 years Mike.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first to tell you, man, at that point, Harold was already at that caliber.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning he, at 15 years old, he was already dealing with things. It was unbelievable to watch, seeing what Mike had did and then seeing Harold against him right then in his very first youth. You know, 15. He was just getting started.
He was fearless.
Yeah, and he was already duplicating some of the things that Mike was doing. So big shout out to Harold, man, because Harold was a beast out here.
For real.
Now, let me ask you a question, Sam.
What's that, Rick?
Let me ask you a question now, because you just talked about that camp. Now, I want to talk about the Nike camp because me and you, we always talked about it. But the people don't know about what happened at that Nike camp. I heard about you and Kenny Anderson. You tell me the stories, but the public don't know about you and Kenny Anderson at that Nike camp in '88, that summer of '88, that me and you always talked about back in the day.
It's so funny that people talk about that. Now, the truth behind that is at Nike camp, you play 2 games. You play 1 game in the morning, 1 game in the evening. And they separate those games pertaining to what defense you could play. It's man-to-man in the morning. It's zone games at night. So when I ran into Kenny in the zone game. We didn't have a real opportunity to go at each other like we would if we'd have had a one-on-one shot. So that was one of those things where Kenny made a real sweet behind-the-back move, and I went for the steal, and I missed it. And he crossed me real nice and laid it in. And everybody's, oh, you got served by Kenny Anderson. I was going, no, Kenny actually was my roommate at that camp. So we was up all night talking about going against each other. We were looking forward to that whole battle of doing that. But we never got that opportunity to really go at it like that. Me and Bobby Hurley did. Me and Jimmy Jackson did. It's a handful of point guards that I'm sure most people are familiar with. We got to go against each other one-on-one, and things, you know, worked out how they worked out. Yeah. I'll be the first to tell you, my team won the whole thing down there.
There it is. That's what matters, folks.
There it is.
Get
right
the
there.
win.
Yeah, there it
get
is,
the
right
win. You want to get
won
in,
the
go
whole
get the
thing.
win. There it is.
We won the whole thing down there.
That.
Yeah, I mean, we must have been doing something because we, you know, and Big Z was down there, and Big Ed, and AD, Adonis Jordan. You know, a whole lot of Los Angeles legends was at that Nike camp. It wasn't just me. You leaving out a lot of people that came through Nike that year.
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, D-Don and Adonis, you know, they were probably my top 2 people that I would consider I had to go against in my era. I always hear people talk about who's the best and who's the best at this and the best at that. I don't think you can really perceive it that way. I think you really have to look at that era, the time periods. Because think about this. I was a freshman when I walked into Westchester. All right, I'm playing against fucking Earl Duncan.
Yeah.
What am I?
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with that? I'm 5'2", 139 pounds, soaking wet, and I'm going against ED. ED on his way to Q's, and then on to the league after that. You know, and I'm just this little freshman coming in. So you can't compare me with that era. But what you can say is okay, slide 2 years later. Okay, now that era, yeah, I say it because most people ain't going to come on here and say it. They're going to try to bullshit.
Yeah.
In that era, I ran things.
Yeah.
At the one.
Well, we got the stats.
That's just what's real.
Yeah.
You know, you had to come through
it's
me.
on paperwork.
And then
it's
you had to come through the D-Dons. And then you had to come through AD. And then, you know, we were the top flight point guards. When I was a sophomore, I was kind of scared of Wayne Williams because they had Wayne Williams #1 over me at Manual.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So when we played Manual, you know, I hadn't really seen him. And I didn't know how good he was that defensively. You know, so I had a hard time playing against him the first couple of times I saw him. And then it finally caught up to where I was able to, you know, really have some good nights against him. But he gave me the most trouble more than anybody in my era.
Oh, yeah, he was nice.
You know, that's who I could say really gave me like one-on-one. Yeah, he could stay with me and make me have to take difficult shots and do difficult things.
Hey, how important was Coach Zam in your life? Did y'all get along? That's
a trick question. That's a trick question.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll tell you why that's a trick question.
Because
I'm the beginning of all the bullshit.
Go ahead.
I'm just keep it real.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm the beginning of all the bullshit. Me and Ed always had a problem, and we always bumped heads. First things first, I came from Chicago. I was on something different, so people didn't really understand me. They thought I was difficult. He wanted me to cut my hair when I first came to Westchester. He was like, you ain't gonna never play varsity because you ain't gonna cut your hair. So what I did was JVs practiced with the varsity in that day. So I just kicked everybody on varsity ass every day and kept it simple.
Yeah.
And kept it simple. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah. You know, I know it's 10 other schools. Crenshaw is right over there, and Joe is calling. Joe is calling my uncle every other weekend because I'm playing in the Joe Weekly League with the adults. So he's already seen me. He know what's really
going on.
real. Yeah, and that's, you know, so we kept banging heads till it came to a big one. I think Zan remember me and him almost fought in the locker room one game because I had 29 in the first quarter against Palisades, and he snatched me out. I was getting ready to get 100 on their ass.
Man.
And he took me out the game. I'm telling you, I was so hot. It was unbelievable. I was like 8 for 8 from the 3. And I went for a fucking pump fake. And this fuck set me down for the rest of the game.
Get out of here.
He put me in with 40 seconds left. And the game was 60-60. Big fella know exactly the game I'm talking about. I made the fucking game winning shot. And he tried to come shake my hand and hug me. And I told him to kiss my fucking ass.
That's what I want to hear.
So you know, that's what our relationship was like until I left. And then we became best of friends.
Yeah.
Because now I understood what he was trying to do because I was at a different level. And now I'm hearing from other people the same things that he was saying. So I got to understand
he was trying to prepare you for some
of what I was trying to do. And so I respected him more when I left than I did when I was there. But I was the one that made that motherfucker have to change his coaching style. Everybody out here calling him the greatest coach in L.A. Let me tell you something. Them coaches over at Crenshaw is the greatest fucking coaches in L.A.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not telling you Coach didn't become a great coach.
Yeah.
What I'm telling you is when I walked in the door, that's bullshit. Westchester was dead last.
Yeah.
And they know that. Anybody that say anything else is lying to their fucking self.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
that's what they doing.
We know because we the generation that
I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really change things. Big fella came and changed things. When Big Z came, that's what changed things. Because I still didn't have no leverage. Yeah, I was killing myself, but we wasn't winning no games.
Yeah.
Because I ain't had nobody, to work with.
Yeah.
Me and Renard had a relationship already. We both played for the Crenshaw Y together, back in the 80s. So Big Reed told me about Zan. And he was like, we going to both move and come to Westchester. And I was like, well, shit. I figured with them two coming, Big Mike's still there. And at that point now, Damon Wilson is coming.
Yeah.
He wasn't that yet, but he's coming.
Yeah.
He's 15, 16 a night. He's coming. He's a year away from being a fucking dog.
Yeah.
So I knew we had a better team, a much better opportunity, and me and Zam was able to go down to that tournament in Las Vegas over Christmas and put it down.
Man, tell me about that one, because that's a big. That was the biggest one.
Mike Brown was on Al Houston ass like glue, and Al Houston was still dropping that shit. That's what I remember the most about that tournament. I mean, Mike was in his fucking shirt. Him and Mike was wearing the same uniform, and he was still making that shit, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's why
he was dropping that jumper down. Whap, whap, and he ice on for 3. Whap, and I'm like, this motherfucker. But I think I went for like 40, and Zan went for like 35, and we ended up beating him. And then we beat Coolidge with Big Dave Hodge that was going to go to the league.
Yeah.
So they had us ranked #1 in the nation after we came out of that tournament.
Yeah.
You know, which, you know, put us at a different place. I think that kind of changed the perspective of what Westchester was. You know, people tend to make it out like Westchester was this unbelievable big school before me and the big fella came.
Oh, yeah.
That's so not true.
Yeah.
You know, people should learn and understand their history and be proud of what your history is. You know, how many times do you know 2 people that can come into a school and change the whole perspective of how that school is looked at in the sports program?
Man.
You know, that's a rare situation.
Yeah.
So.
And y'all did a lot during the time. I mean, the city might have had at least 5 teams in the top 20 nationally that year, because I want to say Manuel was up there.
Oh, yeah.
Crenshaw was up there.
Oh, yeah.
Dorsey was good.
Oh, no, we got our ass kicked a couple of times
good.
that year. Yeah.
And that's the year y'all might have been ranked #1 starting in nationally. You know, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing
and
to
think
skip
about
over
it.
like
We
that.
ranked #1, and this motherfucking team's in the city beating us.
Yeah, in your league.
In our league.
In the league.
So that's how tough that league was. Every team had 2 stars.
Yeah.
Ever since I walked to Westchester to the time I walked out. Meaning I can name the 2 stars.
Maybe 3 D1s per team.
Maybe 3 to 4. It just depends on what school you're talking about. My favorite point guard that I ever seen play myself in high school, that I kind of patterned my shit after, was Dave Henderson over at Fairfax.
Oh, yeah.
And most people don't, really give him the love. And, Dave's super smooth, the jumper. And he got to feed JD, Sean, and Chris.
All of them.
And he got to keep all 3 of these niggas happy and fed.
Yeah.
And then he still got to get 20 himself.
Yeah.
You know,
Dave
so
people
don't kind of respect what Dave was doing at that point. And I'm looking at Dave going, God damn, how do you because it was hard enough for me to keep Mike, Zan, Damon all fed in the same, and I'm trying to get all them 20 points.
Yeah. And you got to get them, though.
Yeah,
you got to get them. Yeah.
That's not no easy task.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you got 3 real kill scorers out there that can really pretty much, you can give them the ball, they can get their own fucking points.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we had a lot of competition around here, and I think a lot of people just make a lot of comparisons that's kind of unfair about how they go about it.
Oh, yeah,
it was funny.
All the real ones, they know what it is. They know the beginning. They know the foundation.
I was talking to the producer on the phone, and he was asking me. I was telling him the story about me and Derek Martin. At that point, they had Derek Martin as the #1 point guard in California, and that shit was pissing me off. And I was chasing Derek around like I was a pit bull, looking for him at every gym. Like I was in AUU anywhere I could find him. I was looking for him. You know what I'm saying? And it was so crazy because it never came to be.
And you know what's crazy about this time now? Now players, instead of going looking for the smoke, they want to hop on the same
fucking friends.
They want to be friends
best
with
friends.
them.
I don't understand basketball now.
That's the generation that's driving me crazy right now. I'm trying to break it with my kids.
I got a player.
You don't know.
I got a player that I train, man, a young cat, 15 years old. About to turn 16. This motherfucker's an all-star pitcher and the best 3-point shooter I've seen come along in a long time. And my first contact with him and my first initial teaching to him is stop fucking being friends with everybody.
Jesus.
It's nothing I hate more than running out there. I'm going to tell you right now.
Stop being friends, please.
Hey, man, most of my niggas at Westchester probably didn't like me. Playing with me wasn't cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Zan had to snatch my ass up a few times because I done said some crazy shit to him. You know what I'm saying? Playing
But
with me wasn't cool.
and that's competitive
I wanted
spirit,
to win,
though.
my
Yeah,
nigga.
to win.
Yeah, I wanted to
win.
win, and whatever it took. If it took cussing your ass out, the coach out, and everybody else out, it was open fucking season.
Man.
You know what
All
I'm
right.
saying? Because I'm trying to earn my way around here and get this scholarship, and I'm trying to make sure that I move on to the next level and do something. And you can't do that in basketball without a team.
Without a team. Without people who want to compete too.
Yeah.
Without people who want to compete. Yeah. Now at and we always go into the segment when we have our legends on. Everywhere they play, we always ask them, who you being the sixth man, so not count yourself.
Okay.
All right. And you've seen a lot of Westchester basketball. You probably seen it all from
No doubt about
because you started it basically.
No doubt about
you know, your top 5 all-time Westchester players. I got my 5 from Big Zan, but I want yours. Okay, you ain't got you give me the 5. I know it's gonna be some people hurt, but
no, it probably won't be no people hurt.
And if they are
I'm
hurt,
gonna keep it 100.
I don't give a damn.
I can only talk about the ones I played with or saw play.
Or saw play.
I'm gonna put it
go.
in that. I'm gonna put it in that perspective so you understand. Number one, very forgotten person. Rest in peace, Michael Courtney.
Okay.
Michael Courtney, my freshman year. Without him, I'm nothing. I don't break none of those records. I don't get none of that shit done. I got done my freshman year without Michael Courtney.
There we go.
All-time greatest Westchester player that I've ever seen.
That's the second
my
person who said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna start there, and then you know, it's some people, man, that are just built to be who they are. Michael Brown was like a fucking Houdini. He could play the 2, then go guard the 3, then play the 4. Then I could move to the 2 and the fuck could come play the 1.
Yeah.
Very underrated player in our era, just altogether, period. The most underrated player in our era. Big Z. You know, shit, Parade All-American, All-City 3 years in a row, 26, 27 a night, 12, 13 rebounds a night.
Monster.
I can count on him.
Monster.
Some of the best hands I've ever played with. I dare say that 75 to 76% of the assists that I have at Westchester High School came from throwing the ball from him.
Yeah.
So you got to put him on there. And then most people would argue this, that kind of know our history, but you got to put Damon Wilson on there, man. You got to.
Yes,
you
sir.
got to.
Yep.
When I left Damon Wilson, most people thought that Damon was eating off my plate, and that's the only way he can eat. And I think what they saw the year that I left, that was bullshit, because that nigga was averaging about 28 and 8 or 9 dimes. So I think they figured out that he could play by himself, that he didn't need me to get his game off. That's not what it was. He was himself. I was myself. We were a great fit together. He could defend the people that I couldn't defend. I could penetrate and get to places that he couldn't get to. So we complemented each other well. But his game, it speaks for itself, man. Shit, 21, 22 a night with me, 3-4 years in a row. You know, and he never swaggered. I don't care. Every time you look up, he was going to have his stats. He was going to get 24, 25. So I have to put him in there.
This number 5 is always a tough one. This is the one right here, Rico. This is the one. It's the one. They got so many.
Oh, my young nigga, my young homie, James Gray.
Oh, Gumby.
I'd have to put, I'd have to say.
Yeah, you got to put Gum
I'd have
in.
to say Gums.
Yeah.
You know, he got a chance to survey what basketball was supposed to be, and he took the most advantage of it.
Gum was different.
He took the most advantage of it.
It was
He
different.
started off, 5'10", 5'11". He wasn't that big, so his game didn't look like it looked once I left.
Yeah.
When I was
Came
there.
back, he was 6'3".
I came back, he's 6'3", 6'4", long as hell, jumping out the gym, you know what I mean, and so on and so forth. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And some people say he's the greatest basketball player in Westchester history. I love Gums to death. You don't know your fucking
That's
history.
my brother.
You don't know your fucking history
Yeah.
if you think that.
Yeah.
You don't know your
I
history.
seen him get a triple-double. I
Yeah,
seen it
but
with my eyes.
But at Westchester, see, people take what somebody does. Look at a person's body of work.
Yeah.
You can't look at
Back-to-back chips.
You can't look at it's 2 point guards that went to Westchester that has a body of work. That's the only 2 point guards that you can compare to each other and go, oh, okay, you can compare it to them two and say one of them two was the best. And that's me and Tony Bland.
Yeah.
Tony Bland played 4 years on the
Yeah.
varsity. I played 4 years
Yeah.
on the varsity, and so on and so forth. So if you're going to make a comparison, compare somebody that has the same body of work.
Yeah.
Gumby has 1 to 2 years of body of work.
Yeah. Fool. Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
You
That's
feel
true.
what I'm
That is-
saying?
that's
you
true.
can't overrate
Yeah.
that to what the Zan Masons did and what the Michael
Yeah.
Browns did
Yeah.
and what the people that have
That's
4
true.
years of a body of work. That's disrespectful to that player. That player for 4 years. For 4 years, I pretty much averaged double figures in assists in high school basketball
Yeah.
in a row. That would be hard
That's
to
it.
tell me that somebody else was a better fucking
Yeah.
point guard.
Yeah.
If a point guard was supposed to get assists.
Yeah. Which
Now, if, if you're a scorer, then that's different.
Yeah.
But if you're supposed to be the person that's running your team and getting your team involved,
and that's the job.
then
Yeah.
I would think that with a body of work like that,
Yeah.
you know, people will respect the game and
Yeah.
go, yeah, I mean.
I had a question for you, Sam, too. Going from Westchester to Moore Park, what led you to Moore Park? I mean, you know, were you being recruited by New Mexico State before you got there?
Nah, man. I went to Midland, Texas, right? And I got there, and there was about 50 guys there. And this is a true story. I called my dad, and this is right before my dad went to the joint. And I said, Dad, I don't want to stay here. And he's like, are you crazy? You outplay anybody. I'm like, that's not the problem. This is already chosen. This is already done. Mm-hmm. You know, they already kind of got their guys, and I could tell they do just based on the scrimmages and what I was going through. So Pops was like, fuck it, man, come back home, but you got to go to school. You don't go to school, you got to get out. So I'm like, whoa, shit, okay, I got to get out. I'm like, all right, I'll tell you what if I go to a junior college and you move me out? He's like, all right, I'll help you with that. So I came back to the crib. I was going to go to Santa Monica. I didn't really like the setting and being so close to around here. And then New Mexico State was kind of on me in high school, so they hit me and was like, you know, Northquist is up here in Moore Park, and, you know, his son is on our staff up here in New Mexico State. So if you go to Moore Park, then we'll continue our relationship and we'll continue to follow you throughout there because we have a direct tie. Your head coach son is up here on our staff. So if you go here, you'll have a direct tie here. And I kept that loyalty to them like they kept it to me. I really was, I wanted to go to DePaul. That was really my focus. Getting back to the crib.
Yeah. And so you went from there to New Mexico where you led this nation 2 years in a row in assists. And that was amazing, Sam. That was amazing. Man, we're going to have you back on for a real time, and we're going to get into some deep basketball. And just not just you, but your basketball knowledge all around and your opinion about the game today. Man, I really appreciate having you on. Man, this is a blessing, you know what I'm saying? To me, Enrico, we've been watching you since we was kids. So I seen you at the sports arena. I seen you, your jumper. I seen all this stuff. But getting to meet you is a privilege. You know what I'm saying? A close friend of mine was Jock Vaughn. So I came up with him.
Big Jock.
Yeah, and so he was, you know.
I like Jock too.
Yeah.
You know, Jock was really good. When I came out, I still kind of kept up with him and my guy from Inglewood that ended up going to New Mexico State. Because they had some very good point guards coming in after we had kind of walked away from this and got on to our college level. So I know y'all had some great point guards.
Man, and so we got a chance to watch you, man. And I appreciate everything. Appreciate you coming on. I'm glad you got down here. We're going to do this again. Shout out once again to Manhattan Beach Studios. Shout out to VIP. We got the legends certified by the city, not by the internet. These are people who said, I need to get Sam on today. He's one of the legends that we got. Appreciate you guys, everybody watching the show. Make sure you subscribe, get on. And if you want to see somebody, if you know somebody that's certified, hit us up. Then we'll put them on because it's about the city. That's what we're doing it for the people. All right. Wonderful time again. Thanks, Sam, once again. And we out.
I'm certified by the city. It's me against me, but for you, I'll drive 50. Long nights, had cold days. It was chilly. Pray to God for that parlay that made